It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Every advisor has a conflict of interest, even the good ones.
Now, I see right there, Brian, you have every, E-V-E-R-Y, in all caps, meaning that no one is excluded from this whole conflict of interest thing.
Yeah, everybody has a conflict of interest. Anytime somebody is offering you for payment, you have to wonder, what's the catch?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something, look, you're watching a podcast or you're listening to a podcast, you're watching a YouTube channel. What's the catch? And I kind of alluded to this at the beginning of the show, is our catch. We can give away all the free advice. First of all, that's how this passion project started. I actually did not like the fact that there was a whole group of people that did not qualify for my services because I had account minimums to work on the fee-only side. So I wanted to just create good content. Had no idea this was going to turn out to be the greatest marketing concept in the world. Yep. And the reason I think it is so successful is because there's a pureness in the fact that, yes, we get paid when we turn viewers and listeners into clients, but the ask is so long in the making, right, as in the fact that the abundance cycle is you can come and learn all this stuff for free, but still at the end of the day, there is a conflict of interest. And let me explain specifically, like us as fee-only advisors, what I mean by that. We get paid, the more assets we manage, the more money we make. Mm-hmm. I mean, so that would, if you take that to the next level and go, well, where's the conflict in that? Obviously, somebody comes to us and says, I want to pay off my house. Mm-hmm. If they take $200,000 or $300,000 out of the assets we're managing,
we'll make less.
We make less money. So that's a conflict of interest. Mm-hmm. Now, here's how you overcome that: is you have good communication, you have an understanding. We are very upfront. We're very transparent on prepaying low interest debt. We even built it in the financial order of operations. Yep. We can overcome our conflict of interest because I think we can explain to you the mathematics as well as the concept of why we believe this, so that you can say, you know what, those guys do have a conflict, but because I understand where they're coming from, I don't think that's why they're giving me the advice. You have to do that with everybody who has a conflict of interest. If you think about somebody like, look, I should have probably done a screenshot. I used to get emails. I think they finally took me off their mailing list because I brought it up. Because I put it on. I started putting it on slides to show the emails that financial advisors get, talking about the commissions on equity indexed annuities and other type of products like that, where those products that they're pitched at such a high commission percentage, there's a huge, conflict of interest. It's like a Looney Tunes commercial. Whenever the characters in Looney Tunes are hungry, they all of a sudden everything look around there, everything looks like a chicken bone. Uh-huh. That's when you put the commission too high. All of a sudden, all your friends and family start looking like chicken bone commissions. That you want to go snack on and get those sales. You need to understand. Everybody has a conflict of interest. Just make sure you understand what it is and have a good communication, about the whole process.
Yeah, so a really great question that you can ask is, who else stands to gain from the advice you give me? Or who else stands to gain from the way that we work together? You gave the example, Brian, of paying off a mortgage. Two other really quick examples that came to my mind. If you're working with an asset-based manager and it comes down to the time where you have to decide, do I take a lump sum pension benefit or do I annuitize that lump sum? Obviously, a lump sum would be better for the advisor if they charge it off the asset. So one of the things that we always do for clients is we lay that on the table and say, hey, if you choose this, we will make more money because of this. But even given that's the circumstance, this is the mathematics on which makes the most sense. And sometimes it makes more sense to do the lump sum, and sometimes it makes more sense to do the annuitized benefit. Advisors who get paid hourly, that's one of the things that some of the folks are asking here. Here's one of the big conflicts on that. Often phone calls turn into meetings, right? If you want to send your advisor a question, hey, I've got this really quick question. Can you help me out with this? I was like, oh, you know what? Let's set up some time to meet and let's, go through an entire analysis. That may not actually be what is in your best interest. So you just want to understand where the conflict exists. And you want to make sure that your advisor is forthcoming about what that conflict is.
Yeah, that gets in it. Look, hourly, I respect it a lot, but also I worry about how fast the world changes.
Sure.
You get a plan, in 2 months from now, is that plan as good?
How about tax law changes?
Tax law changes. There's lots of things on that. And look, I'll just tell you that your biggest limitation as an advisor is time. Mm-hmm. And I think about that, where that comes into play for a financial advisor. It does. If somebody does a shadow day with me, I'm going to say, look, for young, good financial advisors, you have to be very deliberate with what your time is worth. That's why I can give away all the free information on these shows, because my time is aggregated, and batched when I do content creation. I can give that away for free.
Yep.
You want time with me or Bo? It's actually expensive, because we have very limited. So that's something I would just, with hourly, their conflict is what you have to weigh in, where the value proposition comes into. And I would ask them, are they even using their time as efficiently? Because that goes into, do you eat what you're cooking in the kitchen? So it's just something to pay attention to.